Think I'm gonna build a snowman. Pull on my warm crab hat. Got my scarf from Doctor Who and mittens blue for all the snow I'll pat. I'll roll up a big snowball and make the head. There's a carrot inside my crotch. Think I'm gonna build a snowman and put my scarf onto the snowman.
What the hell is that noise?
Looks like Jason's playing Frozen 2 again outside. That boy ain't right.
I'll take care of this.
Job well done. Hey, Ned, do you want to help me build a snowman?
Welcome to Goosebumps!
That's right, Bob. Today we're reviewing book number 51, Beware the Snowman.
I'd like to lodge my first complaint about this book, and believe me, I have many. Beware, comma, the snowman? I don't...
It's part of a poem.
Yeah, but it's just beware the snowman. Beware the rapist. Beware the killer.
Therapist.
You don't go, beware the therapist.
I've always thought that was stupid too, because you read it, your mind tells you beware the snowman, but it's actually beware the snowman.
I like it, it's artistic.
I mean, with lines like, he's got a heart of cold. See what they should have done? He's got a heart, comma, of cold. That's where you put a comma.
I think we're just going to start putting fucking commas everywhere.
Don't worry.
RL, comma, Stine.
No, are you ready for it?
L.
Are you ready for
Stine.
it? No. Melting allowed.
Can we just get on a quick off-topic conversation?
Why not?
Do you subscribe to the Oxford comma, yes or no?
Oh, I do, yes.
I do as well.
Absolutely. The,
One
red,
comma,
blue,
two comma, and
white.
3.
Because the non-Oxford comma idea, which is still grammatically correct, is red, comma, blue, and white. So only one comma. You need two
It would
commas.
be any list. It could be a 15-thing list, but it's the comma before like the and or whatever.
Yeah.
Oh, then I'm totally against you guys on that.
Are you?
Yeah, because the and or to me replaces that comma, the need for that comma.
I disagree.
I also disagree.
And
this has been Grammar with Goosebumps.
Again, we're both right. And like I said, we're both right.
Both are correct.
And to be fair, I'm pretty sure the grammar was my lowest ACT score. So, Jacqueline used to live with her Aunt Greta in Chicago, but not anymore. See, now that shouldn't be a period. That should be a comma.
And I believe in that first sentence, there's a little grammatical error there too.
Used to live with her Aunt Greta in
Used to lived.
Oh, you're right. It does say lived. Jacqueline used to live with her Aunt Greta in Chicago, but not anymore. They've moved to a place called Sherpia. It's a tiny village on the edge of the Arctic Circle. No movie theaters, no malls, no nothing. At night there are strange howling noises, and in front of every house there's a snowman. A creepy snowman with a red scarf, a deep scar on his face.
A snowman with a deep scar on his face. He's like the Edward James Olmos of snowmen.
Right.
That's my joke for today. I will see you guys later. Send the check to my house.
Hey, Bob, chill out. And let's take our audience members to Amy with a nice, cool shot.
Oh, hey guys. What's this book about? Snowmen? Snowmen? Okay. We're gonna do Snow Beauty sake. Shake well, serve chilled. Easy enough. Cheers, guys.
Wow, Amy, thanks for the nice pre-mixed shot.
Intro shot.
Woo! Fuck off. Ugh. Ugh. Meet our protagonist, Jacqueline, who has just moved to Nowheresville, living with a relative.
No, see, I double-checked the rule. It says staying with a relative. She is full-on adopted by Aunt Greta.
Well, not necessarily adopted, but living full-time with.
Yeah, she is. Her mom's dead.
How do you know she adopted her? Maybe it's just staying with family. Maybe it's like the poor people do.
It's probably not.
So, all right, meet Jocelyn, who is living...
Jacqueline!
Whatever.
Yeah, why do you keep saying Jocelyn?
I don't know.
Fucking A. Isn't that like an old department store?
Meet Jacqueline, who is living with her Aunt Greta ever since, like, her father left her mother at a young age, and then her mother died.
At 5.
Yes, so she's been living with her Aunt Greta in Chicago. Suddenly Aunt Greta's like, let's move out of the United States to this village in the Arctic Circle named...
Sherpia is my guess.
Which,
Yeah.
which I was like, okay, it's like Sherpa because Sherpas
It was stupid. It was fucking
cold.
stupid.
Here's what I was telling Jason I noticed oddly. They basically just switched the E and the A in the word Sharpie. It's not even like a hard...
Maybe one of the ghostwriters was just doodling
That's what I figured. He's
on
like...
a napkin, on a cocktail
I
napkin.
thought R.L. Stine was like getting paid to name drop Sharpie, but then the check didn't clear. So
they just
he switched the letter.
Fuck you, Sharpie!
So Jacqueline moves.
Meet Jocelyn.
It's Jacqueline, right?
You kind of confused me for a second too, because he got it right, but then I was like, wait a minute. I was like, nah, he's fucking with them.
So they move up to this snowy Arctic village, and they
Just remember this book, Jacqueline.
okay. They move up to the snowy Arctic village called Sharpie, and
Yeah, let's just call it Sharpie.
Sharpie's fine.
For the rest. Yeah.
so her and her Aunt Greta roll into like their cabin that they're going to be living into, and immediately Jacqueline notices there's this snowman outside one of the houses, and it's got like a scar in its face, and it's got a red scarf. And she's like, ooh, that's weird.
Twigs, one twig I think is down, and one's like in a waving motion or something.
He's
looks
walking like an Egyptian.
Looks like a cactuar.
Yeah.
Protagonist did just move.
Fuck.
I thought there was going to be one.
Just moved to Nowheresville.
Ugh.
So they get inside this cabin. It is a one-bedroom cabin. So this poor like teenage girl doesn't even get her own bedroom. She gets like a loft. She can't stand
Their
up all the way
periods
in.
are gonna sync up like the first time she gets it.
And it sucks because it's all snowy, so you're gonna be able to tell.
Yeah.
The both of you are fucking weird.
Like, well, that's how chicks write their name in the snow, right?
I mean, if I'm menstruating, I'm gonna go outside and like hike up my skirt so it doesn't get on.
Yeah, I don't want hot flashes while menstruating, so yeah, I'm gonna stick that shit right in the snow and just...
And that way you lure in the
Make
wild.
little snow tampons or something.
Well, you lure in the wild animals, and then you capture the wild game, and then you have dinner.
Fucked in the head,
I
but
mean, you're in the Arctic Circle. What are you gonna do?
you're not in the ocean. Jesus.
Fucking snow
We
sharks.
don't know that. The Arctic Circle cuts through the ocean.
Well, I'm gonna go explore the village while Aunt Greta is unpacking. And she walks down the road, and then she meets Eli and Rolanda, who are two kids her age. And as she's walking down the street, Jacqueline notices there's more snowmen in red scarves with scars on their faces.
Basically, one in every yard that looks pretty much the exact same.
Yeah. So Jacqueline asks, what's the deal with all these snowmen that have these scars and red scarves? And the kids are like they're waffling on answering. And they're like, where are you going? And she's like, well, I'm going to go climb that mountain over there. And like Eli immediately starts freaking out. He's like, don't do that. And she's like, well, why not? And they won't give her a straight answer about that either.
She's like, all right, fuck it, I'm going. And then all of a sudden, both of them freak out. And they're like, seriously, don't go up there.
Don't do it.
Okay, fine, no problem. So she goes on her merry way.
She walks away, and she's like, well, I told them I wasn't going to climb it. And she's like,
Let's go up the mountain.
let's climb it.
She gets most of the way up and stumbles upon a cabin like way far away from the rest of the houses. So she knocks on the door. Hello, is anyone
Peeking
home?
in the windows.
Yeah, it's
Like,
creepy.
mind your own business, bitch.
Just the logic of, I better really investigate this house because clearly this person wants to be around other people.
Yeah.
Given that they're already in a remote village and further removed themselves even from that.
Yeah.
From like the 14 people or whatever that live
Yeah.
in that town.
So she opens the door of this cabin and walks in and is like, hello, is anyone here? And then immediately gets assaulted by a wolf. This wolf lunges on her. And
What is the wolf's name?
Wolf's Bane. Which
Wasn't
is,
it Wolf Bane?
Wolf Bane.
Which
is
drove me nuts
confusing.
because you would think Wolfsbane is.
Yeah,
makes
but
sense.
its name was Wolfbane.
Well, something like Bane implies like,
agony.
yeah, like,
Or it's the bane of your existence. It's
yeah.
your
So to
opposite.
call it the thing you are and then Bane, it'd be like naming you Ned Bane. Well, you're Ned.
And that, well, see, I
Could I
didn't
be
even
Ned
think of
Bane?
it like that.
Ned,
For me,
Ned
it was
Bane
like.
is the bat.
I like that. That's Jason Bane.
Yeah, that's
see, that's what I
Jason
mean, though.
Bane.
That's Jason Bane, because it's used against me.
And so
Hence
that's, I just.
Jason Bane.
Here are
It's
better...
like naming a Jewish kid Hitler. Like, you're not going to do that.
Hitler Goldstein.
Hitler Goldstein.
So this wolf is on her, and then all of a sudden there's this man's voice like, hey, Wolfbane, get off of her. And she meets this guy with gray eyes.
Santa Claus.
This recluse of a guy. And he's like, what are you doing here? What are you doing here? And she like kind of just freaks out and leaves.
Yeah, she's like,
And
And then she bolts out the door.
and then he's like, hey, where are you going? And then she tries to go up the mountain. And he's like, oh, don't go that way. And then the wolf
you don't want to go up there.
You don't go that way.
Is that it?
That rod leads to Conifer. You want to go to South Park, you got to go down that rod.
So then she runs into Eli and Rolanda again, and they're pissed at her because they're like, we told you not to fucking go up there.
And
And she's
I'd be
like,
I
why?
just met you. Go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, give me answers. And
Why?
Rolanda's like, all right, tomorrow, same time, let's meet in this church, and I will tell you what the deal is with the snowman.
Which seems like, is that like the first time they ever mention a church?
My friend Bob, this is the first time I mentioned a lot of things. Church, a dad walking out on like a small infant and leaving the mom, and then the mom dying, and then the kid is...
Sorcerers.
Okay, no spoilies, all right? So like, the book literally begins with Jacqueline remembering this poem that her mother used to recite her, and she keeps thinking of it over and over in the book. Goes, when the snows blow wild and the days grow old, beware the snowman, my child. Beware the snowman. He brings the cold. And there's a second verse she can't remember. And so like, she brings this up with her aunt Greta, and it's like, oh, do you have this book of poetry around? Did you know about the snowman? And Aunt Greta is like, oh, no. Like,
Even
clearly
though-
no shit.
Well, yeah, and she knows that like Aunt Greta grew up in a place similar, which come to find out it has to be exactly there.
Yeah, apparently, her parents came from a snowy place as well as Aunt Greta, and then moved down to Chicago because, you gotta have that deep dish, and then went right back up. So the next day, Jacqueline meets up with Rolanda in the church, and Rolanda's
Take me to church.
I don't know that reference. Take me to church. Jacqueline meets Rolanda in this church, and Rolanda's like, okay, here's the deal with the village. There's a legend that there used to be two sorcerers who lived here, a man and a woman, and they were fucking around with magic, and they brought a snowman to life, and
Lost control of the magic.
and then they had to like force it up into a cave of ice in the mountain. We call it the ice cave, which like, I was like, great. We were 10 words short on this fucking book, weren't we? We need to pad that shit out. And so this guy who lives on the mountain with the wolf, we don't know if he's trying to protect people from going up there and waking up the snowman,
Conrad's his name. by the way.
Conrad, or if Conrad is working with the snowman, but that's the whole gist. Jacqueline's like, yeah, this is ridiculous. You're stupid. She leaves, and then Eli, Rolanda's brother, Rolanda's brother,
Rolades.
Eli's like, I snuck up there with my friends. We got around Conrad in his cabin, and I saw the snowman with my own eyes.
But it gets worse.
Oh, it's so much worse.
He saw me
That was a chapter
with
cliffhanger.
his own eyes.
So fucking dumb. And so still she can't believe.
Look it. He's in shock. All of us.
Snowy. Jacqueline's like, all right, fuck it. I'm gonna go to the top of the mountain and get to the bottom of this.
Go to the top to get to the bottom?
Jacqueline's like, I'm going to the top of the mountain. She tells Eli...
You can help me or not?
Yeah, she tells Eli and his sister, it's like, look, I'm going there anyway. I need you to distract Conrad and his wolf. So they do like a little Three Stooges act and distract him, and she goes up and finds the ice cave. And lo and behold, this big snowman comes out. And
I imagine it's I was thinking like the N64, like Super Mario 64
Yeah, the
snowman.
snowman, yeah.
That's what I envisioned.
the snowman comes out of the ice cave and it goes, who are you? And she, for some reason, goes, oh, I'm Jacqueline DeForest.
Because she just wants to be honest. Why lie?
Why your whole name, though? Why your whole fucking name?
What does that mean? Why did you say that name?
And this big evil snowman like stops upon hearing her full name, is like, what? And he goes, I am your father. And then she goes, no! And it's literally a ripoff of fucking Empire Strikes Back.
La la la, Luke, I am your father.
All of a sudden, the fucking ant shows up and is like, don't listen to him, he's lying. Blah, 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 your father's dead, or I don't know.
But Jacqueline's like, no, and I'm gonna help turn him back into a human.
because she has
to finish the poem.
the poem around him, and that's where
she
he
needs to know
lets her know.
She needs to know the second verse of the poem to release the snowman from this spell.
to release her father.
To be her father again. And Aunt Greta shows up carrying the book of poems that she is denied having up until this point with the complete verse. And even though Aunt Greta doesn't want the snowman released, it was like, why did you bring the fucking book?
Here's my thing. Obviously, it's not a book of poems. If it's clearly a spell book. That kind of just, I was like, why are you calling it a book of poems? It's clearly a spell book.
Right. And Greta goes, no, your mom and dad were the sorcerers. You are the daughter of the sorcerers. They accidentally created this evil snowman. You cannot release this thing. But Jacqueline's like, no, it's my father. I'm going to help him. So she steals the book with the full poem, and she reads the second verse, which is, when the snows melt and the warm sun is with thee, beware the snowman. For the snowman shall go free. And the snowman starts to melt. But instead of her father, it's a weird monster. It's like a
red,
creep.
scaly
it's like a
monster,
creep
right?
from the last book.
Except red.
Red.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a red creep.
Red creep is what my wife gets every month.
Oh!
Is that a ball joke?
God damn it.
Fuck. Ugh. Then Conrad comes running up the mountain with Wolfbane.
Wolfbane, yep. And Conrad's like, hey, back off.
All of a sudden, all the snowmen from the yards are like, I'm assuming trudging, or I don't know what they're doing up
I
the
just
hill.
pictured when Mr. Burns and Homer get stuck in the
cabin.
206 bones, 50 miles of small intestine, full pouting lips, where this fellow is less a snowman than a god.
All these weird snowmen in the red scarves that were in the village start marching up the mountain, and they coalesce on this monster and start like crushing it to death with snow.
I thought they were like pushing him into the wall, and then all of a sudden he just was like in the wall of the ice cave.
Probably at that point I just kind of checked out. Like, let's be honest.
I don't know, but something happened where
he's like, oh good, there's only 2 pages left.
the monster was like dead.
And Conrad called all these snowmen up the mountain to assist them once he figured out that they had gone
How
up
do
there.
you think he did it?
Well, I think, Ned, he's a sorcerer, and he is Jacqueline's father. Jacqueline is reunited with her father. It ends all...
He stayed out of guilt and to ensure that the snowman...
The safety of the village.
Which is like...
Aunt Greta wanted to move them up north because she knew the spell was going to weaken on the snowman.
Yeah, somehow she knew it, but
And
Conrad
she kind
didn't.
of thought that Jacqueline's father was still alive, but she wasn't sure. So it was a double whammy. And
So the book ends with all of the snowmen turning to Conrad and saying,
Can we go home?
"Can we go down now? It's cold up here."
which...
I would say it's a dark ending.
It's
There's
not a twist
It doesn't
ending.
have any implications.
We already knew they were
of,
alive.
This is the
Yeah.
happiest ending I think we've had in a
that's
Goosebumps
true.
book. A girl's reunited with her father,
And now
they
there's a bunch of Frosties hanging out.
And they defeated a bad guy, and there's like no, like, you know, it's not like all the snowmen said, now it's our turn to take over the village. No, it's like a happy ending.
They just wanted to, they were cold.
Yeah.
They only had scarves on.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's go to the episode, gentlemen. So what do you predict we're going to see here?
A lot of snow?
A lot of snow.
A lot of snow.
I mean,
it's snowing constantly in the book, so a lot of snow.
God, it just looks
What
cold.
movie is he in?
It just looks cold.
I know him from something.
Is that Steve Buscemi? Well, that was the episode. It was pretty faithful to the book. There was a lot of snow.
I would say better than the book.
Well, at times, yeah. I mean, at times they couldn't really tell what was going on because of all the snow. But let's talk about the book. Ned,
We just talked about the book. We should rate the book.
Oh.
Let's do that instead. What do you think?
I will give this book a 1 out of 10. And the 1 is solely because I like the idea that I really like the Goosebumps books that are outside of the United States. Like when we had the Shrunken Head one in that weird island.
Mm-hmm.
And then,
Egypt for the mummy books.
Yep.
Those are really good.
And yeah, like this Arctic Circle kind of village. I'm like, what a unique setting. I know you say this a lot, but this is one of the first times where I was literally falling asleep reading this book. This book was fucking boring.
Yeah.
8.3.
Fuck the fuck off. Are you serious?
I like this one.
Oh, wow.
I know there was like a lot of dumb shit that happened in it, but there wasn't all the nonsense like back and forth and bullshit. Like I expected a lot more of that between when she found out what the.
Well, she's not in that good of a shape. She can't keep going up and down that mountain.
That's true. But I liked it overall. It was different than what we were used to, and I enjoyed it. I wasn't falling asleep at all, and I read it last night.
What happened to your brain as a child?
Well, I got dropped a lot. Does that count?
Under power lines, ate paint chips.
Yeah. Then it was lead paint back there, and it was the good stuff.
It's more flavor. Mm-hmm. Bob, what do you rate this very divisive book, apparently?
I gotta give it a 10.
Shut up.
I'm just kidding, you stupid fuck. Look at your fucking
I was
face.
gonna be so fucking pissed. I was gonna be so fucking pissed.
Big deucer. Why? Because this was a turd.
Snowman hath peepers. Peepers to watch. To watch for our moment of weakness, and then baff comes the knock on the head, and we're down. What do we do? Oh. Wouldn't you like to know?
Before we move on to our next book, I got us a little treat today at the store. All the way from 1990-something, I found us some Goosebumps collectible trading cards.
These are my tops.
1996.
I got a Wayne Gretzky.
Ooh, I got a foil magic card.
Well, that about wraps it up for book number 51, Beware. The Snowman. Join us next time for book number 52.
How I learned to fly.
Oh, well, why?
Oh, you knocked the
I knocked some
trading
cards out of it.
More trading cards!
From us to you, reader beware.
You know, it's been years since we've done that, and it hasn't gotten any less gay.
Yeah.